Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 4 of chapter 8b, and basically we're going to do the same stuff as we did on day 3. Okay, we're solving equations, but first, before we solve an equation, we actually have to factor, and we're going to have to factor twice. Okay, it's going to be with greatest common factor for the first time, and then the second round is going to be with trinomials or difference of two squares. Okay, so that's what you need to look for. So always do greatest common factor first, and then look at your trinomials or difference of two squares. All right. So actually, the first thing here in day 4 is we're going to do a warm up. Again, this is just to help you with the beginning of the semester, making sure you guys are good to go, so you get you do well in the final exam. All right. So let's take a look at it. What we got. The first type of problem is a systems problem. Okay, you guys should be all very familiar with that. And remember what we're doing is we're thinking, is this, we have two ways to solve this. We have substitution, we have elimination. Okay, and you guys should look at this one and you should say, oh, this is definitely a substitution problem. And why is it substitution? Well, because of this guy right here. Right, it's already solved. Y is solved. So y equals x minus 5. So wherever I see a y here, I get x plus 2, and that's x minus 5, that's what y is, equals 8. And then you solve for x. So x plus 2x minus 10 equals 8. So we get 3x minus 10 equals 8, plus 10, 3x equals 18. It's very messy, and divide by 3. So x is 6. And then we just take that and plug it back into this guy right here. It's pretty easy. Y equals 6 minus 5. So y equals 1. So my coordinate is 6, comma 1. Pretty easy. Next one, definitely got to use elimination. You're going to multiply this bottom one by 4. So then I get negative 4, and top I get positive 4, and then the x's will cancel out. So let me just rewrite the top. 4x minus 3y equals 14, and the bottom is negative 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. Okay, so the x's cancel, and we get 5y, positive 5y, equals negative 10, divided by 5, y equals negative 2. Okay, then we plug it into one of the two equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one. Looks got less negatives, looks a little easier. So 4x minus 3 times negative 2 equals 14. So 4x, and that's plus 6, equals 14. Subtract 6, so 4x is equal to 8, and divided by 4, x is 2. So my coordinate for this one is 2, comma, negative 2. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, let's keep going here. This one's simplifying. Remember properties of exponents. When you multiply, you add exponents together. But this guy, make sure it's 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, you don't add those together. Those are numbers, like saying just regular 2 times 5 is 10. But now x to the 4th times x to the 1st, put a 1 there if you want. That's x to the 5th. And y to the 5th times y to the 3rd is y to the 8th, because you add those exponents. Okay? When you divide, if I just do 15 over 12, you can even use your calculator. But basically 3 goes into 15 5 times, 3 goes into 12 4 times. So that part is 5/4. And then we have a battle. Remember, x to the 7th over x squared. The north wins by, for the x's, by 5. So it's x to the 5th on top. And the y, the south wins by 7. So y to the 7th. And that's your final answer. Oh yeah. Okay, number 5, it's just FOIL. That's all it is. So it's 2x times 3x is 6x squared. So I'll write this out, FOIL. First outer inner last, right? So 6x squared plus 2x minus 9x minus 3. Combine like terms, so 6x squared, 2x minus 9x is negative 7x, and then minus 3. That's your answer. Okay, it's not too bad. The next one is combining like terms, because it's just adding and subtracting. So here we have a 3x cubed minus 1x cubed is 2x cubed. And a minus 2x squared plus 5x squared is, so 5x squared minus 2x squared is plus 3x squared. And there's nothing to combine with the 9, so plus 9. There you go. That's your answer. Okay. All right, so that was pretty nice little warm-up. The next thing we're going to do is, again, this is kind of like a warm-up too because it's just solving by factoring. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the greatest common factor. You've got to remember that greatest common factor first. Always, always, always. So I'm going to take out a 3. By the way, you know this is solve because you got an equal to sign and it says solve. Okay, so you get 3 and then you get x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. So this is a pretty mellow one. Remember, it's got to be minus plus, and then so what is 4 going to be? It's 4 and 1 or 2 and 2. Well, in this case here, 2 and 2 doesn't work because if it's 1's plus 1's minus, it would cancel out to 0. Okay, so it's going to be 4 and negative 1 or negative 1, 4. But remember, if it's opposite signs and this one's plus, that means the bigger number's got to be positive. So this is going to be 4 here and then 1. And you can always check it. If you FOIL that back out again, you would get the original answer. Okay? All right, so we're not done yet because we have to solve. So we're not going to do anything with that 3. In fact, that's out of there. X minus 1 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. So add 1. X equals 1. Okay, and subtract 4. X equals negative 4. Okay, not bad. Okay, this one's a difference of two squares. How do you know that? Because I took my calculator and I took the square root of 225 and I got 15. Square root of x squared is x, and literally it's plus and minus. You take those values and you set them each equal to 0. So 15 plus x equals 0 and 15 minus x equals 0. Okay, subtract 15 from all sides, so x equals negative 15. And then subtract, actually if I really add x to both sides, what that does is it gives me x on this side and this cancels out and we get x equals 15. So 15 and negative 15. I could have also subtracted 15 and then divide by negative 1. That would have worked as well. Okay, this next one, I'm going to factor out two things. I'm going to factor out negative 2 and an x, because they each have an x. So you have negative 2x, and then parentheses, that's going to give me x squared minus 12x, right? 12 or 24 over negative 2 is negative 12. X squared over x is just x, and then plus 32, because the x's cancel. Okay, and that equals 0. So I want to factor that. So I get x and x, and then minus, minus, and I want to do what multiplies to give you 30. Well, first of all, we knew it's minus, minus because same sign, and that means it's got to be both opposite. So 32 can be 16 and 2. It can be 8 and 4. And in fact, it is 8 and 4. 8 and 4 because negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. And that's what we need. Okay, now how many answers am I going to have for this? I am going to have 3. So x is 0, x is 8, and x is 4. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, the next one, I'm going to do greatest common factor, which is going to be a 5, just a 5. So you get 4x squared minus 9 equals 0. Okay, so we do set of parentheses, so it's 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. All right, not bad. Okay, this one, you don't have to factor it twice. There's no greatest common factor, so it's x and x, and it's plus 3 and minus 2. So x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, x equals negative 3, and x equals 2. Okay? Okay, this next one, two ways to do this. I could just add 90 to both sides, and I get 10x equals 90 divided by 10. So x equals 7. Okay? Or I could have factored a 10 out. So 10 times x minus 9 equals 0. It's not 7, it's 90, sorry. Can't read my own handwriting. Okay, and then the 10 is ignored 10. I have x minus 9 equals 0. So add 9 to both sides, and I get x equals 9. So the whole deal, math fans, is you can do it either way. Sometimes people feel more comfortable just factoring, but you don't have to factor for this one. You can actually just solve. But if it's anything with an x squared, then you have to actually simplify it. You actually have to factor. Okay? All right, we got 2 more here. I'm going to factor out an x, and that's it. Because that's it. I can't, there's 16, 25, nothing goes into it. So I get 16x squared minus 25 equals 0. So I'm going to factor that. It's the difference of 2 squares. So 4x plus 5 and 4x minus 5. Okay, so you get x equals 0. If I solve for x, I subtract 5 and divide by 4. So it's going to be negative 5/4. And the other one's going to be adding 5 and then dividing by 4, so positive 5/4. Okay, those are your 3 answers. Okay, last one. I'm going to take out definitely a 6, or sorry, an x, and then I can also take out a 4, because 4 goes into 56, it goes into 20, it goes into 4. So I'm going to divide both or all sides by 4x. Okay, so I get x squared. Actually, let me put the 4x in front of it. X squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, signs stay the same because I'm factoring out a positive 4x. Okay, and then I can factor that. I get x, it's minus 14, so it can be 7 and 2, and the signs are positive, negative. And because it's negative, this guy right here, the second term, is going to also be a 7 because the bigger number is negative. Okay, so that's what I get. And so I get basically 4x equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, and x minus 7 equals 0. So x is 0, x is negative 2, and x is 7. Okay, it should be a negative 2. Okay, so that's it, math fans. That is just a little more practice for getting ready for the test. The test is coming up very soon, and you guys need to know this stuff. So that's it. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.